I'm about to share a moment with you guys. Let's see. Bye-bye, pinch. I owe you guys a huge apology. I thought the camera on the tripod was recording. It was not. I was gonna have a sick time lapse for you. It was gonna be really awesome. Here's where we're at instead. Back together. Back together. Yeah, I just mimicked what I had. I just built it better, stronger, beefier. Took a ton of measurements. Again, before I started the process, I tacked the rear end in. I discovered that it had moved on me through a bunch of measurements, probably when this original cross member broke. So I reset my bars to my original measurements, which explains why I had to like crank this one out and recenter my, and I never thought about how much damage that did when this cross member, well, broke. But I cranked these two bars out to align my truck because it was, you know, off. And I forgot about that. So I had to reset the bars at the correct measurements, square up the new cross member, get all the measurements dialed in, and then just weld in all new brackets. The cross member is just tacked right now. Matter of fact, everything's just tacked right now. So anything and everything can be changed. So if you see something, go ahead and comment below and I'll fix it. Of course, by the time you guys comment and see this video, it'll be too late because I'll probably already have it all finished welded. So that sucks. Need to do some real life stuff. But anyways, yeah, this is where we're at. The plan is to take the whole thing out and weld it on a bench. Weld all the brackets so I'm not laying upside down. Weld all these brackets. Weld all this. This is quarter wall to 3/16. So this is 3/16. This is quarter wall. We should be plenty strong enough in such a compact fashion. We're still gonna end up gusseting in here. We're still gonna tie plate it to the side. There's a lot of reinforcement. These guys are gonna get backed. These will probably get braced here. These will definitely get backed from here down. So those will be tied in here. These will get braced. These guys are gonna get tie plated. And then probably gonna go from a gusset from here to here, maybe some round tube to make that look nice, to carry this tubing on. Again, plated. Everything's gonna get plated, so don't worry about that. We'll cap these ends. All this is gonna get welded. If you see what I did here, I thought that really helped the way that looks. I think it just looks nice compared to this flat break. The bottom, not a big deal, but the top just looked weird. Again, I know, we worry about silly stuff no one's ever gonna see, but that's the whole purpose of that, is to get rid of ugliness like that. We're gonna fix all this too. There's no sense in doing this if we're not gonna do it right. We're gonna come in here and clean all this frame up, get rid of all those bubblegum welds. We're gonna make everything nice, the way it should be, because this truck deserves it, right? Round two, because I didn't do round one correctly, but hey, it's the first truck I ever did. I was learning. Now we know what to do. Beef. I'm rambling too much. It's the energy drink. What can I say? Hey, look, it's up. Everything's just tacked, but seems to be good. I mean, as good as can be for being tacked. I mean, what more do you want? It's together. It works. Time to take it apart and make it final, I guess. We still have some things to fix, some stuff to adjust, but back to the way it was. Bigger, stronger, faster, I think is a stupid song. Better, stronger, more draggable. We're going with more draggable on this one. Second test fit. Wrestled it back on, but check out these cab mounts. I'm gonna say we took some pretty good measurements. And we could easily make adjustments on these guys. But that's not a bad first test fit.
Yeah, you can make that where it's at.
Yeah, you could. You could make it fit where it's at. Yeah, you can back it in if you want.
Yeah, take a picture with them.
No, like. I got tempted by it myself.
Don't be that time.
Yeah. Woo, it's been a while since I've seen the truck this high in the air. Probably about a year ago. What are we up to? Well, it's time. We've got the cab on the mounts. As you can see down here, everything's mocked up. Hopefully you're getting a good view of the cab mounts right now. I decided today's a good day to take the pinch off. That way, when all my friends do show up, they can be like, wow, your truck doesn't have the pinch. And then also we can test fit the engine, tranny, put the drive shaft in, figure out how much more we have to cut out of our firewall, figure out how much we're gonna have to cut out of the tunnel for the drive shaft, and the transmission to clear. Pinch molding time. Gonna get rid of this bad boy right here. It's laying pinch all the way right now, but and she's sitting on these brand new body mounts right now. Everything's lined up, bolts are through it. Now obviously that's just a placeholder bolt, that's not factory. You can see the one on the other side's in. But take your time, do a lot of measuring, and yeah, cut your pinch. I'm not sure how the pros do it. There's no turning back now. Basically, I'm gonna take a little bit at a time, and we're gonna tack weld this up as we go so it doesn't open or separate on us. Because this is where the outside of the cab and the inside of the cab are actually pinch welded together. Meaning if you look close, like right here, you can really see that's a factory spot weld. That's a factory spot weld. So it's the inner sheet metal and the outer sheet metal together, and that's what keeps it together. Once you split it like this, it's gonna wanna open up on you. So my plan is to take a little bit at a time and just do some tacks all the way down here. It'll keep the body from getting heated and warping my metal, causing any, you know, unwanted warpage, if there was some. And also it's gonna keep it from opening up. And I'm just gonna work my way all the way down nice and slow. I've seen guys stand their cabs up on the back window and just do this standing up. Again, mine all comes down to what works for me, and I don't have anyone to help me take this cab off today. I don't want to risk busting my back window. We're just gonna take our time and go slow and lay on our backs and practice our upside down welding. A wise man once said you go to school on the first one. Jimmy DeResta. Check it out. What he means is this. I tried just cutting this off, right? The pinch. And you end up having to do a bunch of these little tacks. You can see where the inner and outer sheet metal is, right? And then you have to tack this all back together. But then by the time I got to here, I said, you know what? I think there's another way we can do this that achieves the same effect. You can see, pinch is gone in either one, doesn't matter. But what I did here was, I made a relief cut. I don't know if you can see that. I made a relief cut. And then I used these guys, right, to grab it and fold it over like every 6 inches. I took the hammer and I massaged it up in there. And where the 2 gaps were, I even used this to pull this back together to keep it flat. And then I just came along, spot welded the gaps back up. You get the same effect. Obviously, I'm still gonna have to smooth this all out. But I think for now it works. We can always stand this up on its back later and get in here and dolly and hammer all that. We may plate all this, I don't know. I may put a piece of plate under. I may go get some 3/16, 3/4, 3/16 1x. We might just plate this whole thing and do some seam sealer or do this factory rock guard or rock chip that's on here, bed liner on this bottom, color match. I don't know. I don't know. But for now, the pinch is gone any way you cut it. And that was kind of the goal for this day. So bye-bye pinch. This is just a random piece of metal I grabbed. Looks like 1/8, maybe 1/8. It's pretty sturdy. As you can see, I can't bend it. But you can easily take this 1x and see if I can back this camera up. Just lay this under here. Obviously this would be a lot easier to do with the truck standing on its back cab, on its back wall, but you can see where if you were to just put this in here like this and tack weld this seam, how much cleaner this looks and how strong that is. And from the outside, it's not gonna add much. Once you blend this seam in, this isn't gonna add much at all. The truck's still gonna be laying rocker. And you're gonna have a lot more strength than just going in here and spot welding all this stuff up. This was definitely, I think, maybe not the right way to do that. You can see this is just no fun way to spend the day, laying on your back, tacking and tacking and tacking and tacking that whole gap that you would open up. So right, wrong, or indifferent, I think we're gonna move to the passenger side and just do the old cut and fold. We can always plate it once it's standing up on its own. So those are the series of relief cuts all the way down. Now we bend with that guy. Bend and hammer, bend and hammer. Let's start with this guy right here. Oh, been hitting the gym. Oh, we still got a little bit of metal up there. Make a little bend with that. Those corners out of there. Just like so. Just like so. This is how I'm doing it. It gets that desired effect nonetheless. Come back here and just smooth this out. Tack weld these little seams up. All right. So I think what we've learned is I've got to lower my mounts. I can still put my hand between my frame and the bottom of that factory floor. My mounts that I made are on the high side of the frame. This is awesome. That's why they're just tacked. So now we can tack those, lower those down an inch, and it should close that gap up nice. Yeah, because I still gotta wait for my friends to come over to help me lift this cab off, so see if we can get in there and move this heater around and work on trimming that front fender. Now, truth be told, I probably don't even have to insert this piece of footage here. I could have just used the piece of footage from before when the engine was out. But I promise you, we took the cab and the engine back out again.